Welcome to From Betrayal to Breakthrough, and here is a mini dose of Dr. Debi where I'm sharing tips, suggestions, strategies, and sometimes just motivation to have you move past your betrayal once and for all. There are definitely some defining moments when it comes to betrayal, and I'm working with one of our members now who she asked her husband to leave because nothing was changing, multiple betrayals, and realized if nothing changes, nothing changes. So hard enough to get him out of the house, and that's where they're at. And then there's this period of time where it's like, well, how much do I interact with him? What do I do? Do I have him come over? Do I go over where he is? And he's, asking me for all these things, and he has all these questions. And here's the thing. If this is what you choose to do and where you're at, I have no idea where you're at in your betrayal. If this is where you're at, this is a time. Imagine the caterpillar going into the cocoon. You can't come out of it just yet. This is a time to figure out who you want to be, what you want, what are your priorities, what's important to you. And unless and until you really figure that out and you keep doing the same thing you were doing, you can only have more of the same. If you're in that position where you are on your own to have that own time to figure things out, do that. Don't be disturbed. Don't be interrupted. You still have enough going on between maybe your kids, maybe your work, whatever. But when it comes to redefining and rewriting the rules and rewriting the script, take that time seriously. Don't let anybody pull you out of it. Be super careful who you spend your time with during this very specific time, because people are only suggesting things also through their lens. They have their own agenda. Of course, they want you happy, they want you healthy, they want all these things, but it's coming through their lens. So it is a very sacred, very fragile, very personal time. Not necessarily lonely, very personal time, of course. If we can help you in the PBT Institute, that's all we do all day long. But if you're in this position, do not come out of your cocoon until you're ready. Follow me for more. You know what's really exciting? One of our most popular programs these days is our Rebuild program, and that's the program for the betrayer. This is the person who realizes, you know what? I just broke the trust and shattered the heart of the very person who trusted me the most, and I just want to become a better version of me. I want to just become someone I'm proud of, and it's men, it's women, it's people who are just stepping up and realizing there's so much more than their behavior, and they're ready to become so much more. So I'm just really proud of them. And they're meeting with our coaches and they're meeting with me in a group setting. And it's so funny because I tell them exactly what to say, what not to say. And they're taking notes feverishly and it's working. And they're realizing, wow, you know what? I screwed up more than I ever could have. And this was the absolute worst thing I could have done. But they're doing everything it takes to make it right. Now, for sure, this is not every betrayer. There are some that are just on to the next, looking for their next, dose of narcissistic supply. I'm not talking about them, but for the ones who realize this was, I don't even know what came over me. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know who I was. Whatever it was, I'm ready to become someone so much better. It's possible. We see it all day long within the PBT Institute. So for those of you who are thinking, can I heal from this? Yes, you can. For those of you who are thinking, can I ever be forgiven for what I've done? We see it all the time. And for those of you who are like, can people really change? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And I'm so proud of the ones who are diving in, doing the work, and doing something really good with something really painful. This is something I'm seeing a lot of lately, and I'm bringing it up in case this is what you're doing too. Let's say it's a marriage and there's been a betrayal. So a partner has an affair. They're trying to rebuild, yet the person who had the affair really isn't putting the work in. Now, instead of calling them out on it, what I'm seeing is the betrayed person is trying to rewire their mind and do whatever they can to justify and rationalize and be okay with the lack of changes that they're seeing. So it's like, well, what can I do to overlook and to look past and to just be okay with this? And here's where you become sick, you become sad, you become stuck, because the only benefit of what you're receiving is familiarity. That's it. That's it. It's what you know. And just like everything else that was once unfamiliar and is now familiar, This is something that's familiar, and the fear of change and the fear of the unknown is having it that you're willing to tolerate this kind of behavior and this kind of abuse. Here's what I want you to do. Take a look at the price you're paying. Take a look at your health. What does it look like? Because your broken heart can't handle this. Take a look at what your kids are learning. What are they seeing? And how you're moving through your day? How is it affecting you? Physically, mentally, and emotionally? How is it affecting all of your other relationships? So much is impacted when the best we're trying to do is tolerate abuse. Now, I'm all for rebuilding when the person who did the betraying is doing whatever it takes. They have woken up. They are stepping up. That's a very different experience. I'm talking about when they're just sort of, oops, sorry, and just throwing out some words to get you to back down. You need support around this, but if the best you're doing is trying to be okay and rewire your mind to be okay with that kind of behavior, think about the price you're paying. You can heal from all of it. Of course, that's all we do within the PBT Institute. If rebuilding is in the cards, rebuild right. If not, become your best. There's so much at stake by tolerating abuse. You need the right tools, support, and the right community to move through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. And we have all that within the PBT Institute. So join us at the PBT, as in post-betrayal transformation, thepbtinstitute.com. There's a version of you who's so confident, healthy, peaceful, and happy on the other end of your healing, and we can't wait to help you get there. We got you. Thanks for listening, and here's to your breakthrough.